Sup my fellas, don't forget to leave feedback and enjoy the story. Blood is flying around with one swing of the sword. They cut the wolf's neck, after which a man dressed in a black cloak is attacked by a huge bird. He looks at her with disdain. Then, with one stroke, he cuts off her wings. This man stands, waving his sword, while many corpses of monsters lie around him. One of the lying goblin monsters tells him about how he single-handedly defeated so many demons, and he rolls into this man dressed all in black. He says that he is the immortal Raven, and he is a thunderstorm of demons. And while Raven looks at these monsters with contempt, he raises his weapon up, after which he swings and hits this goblin right in the head, and blood starts flowing everywhere. Then Raven sigh is he looking straight at the moon, and it says that the time has almost come. Raven looks up at the sky. Then he says that there are only 15 days left, and if he survives, he will finally gain freedom, and then his legs will no longer exist in this damn place. Raven walks through the hilly terrain. He looks at the camp where many children are standing on the road. This was a demon slayer camp, and Raven watches several men drinking while sitting on a bench. The author of another part sits on the box as many dirty children shackled, and he says that he lived in real hell for 10 years. What aroma recalls all the demon hunters, speaking of which, he sends cannon fodder here to fight the demons, which can never end in the Empire, and this is considered the worst punishment. And while Raven passes by the demon slayers drinking and sitting on boxes, he says that mostly robbers and slaves are arstined here, and scum who don't care about themselves in their lives or anyone else. After which several men sitting at the table look at Raven. They say that this is the same bastard who killed his partners during the raid, and I must say, for a former aristocrat, he is not bad in battle. Raven continues to walk forward, closing her eyes, after which a huge man stands in front of him. He says, "Who is this we have here?" And several hunters standing in front of Raven and smiling, they say that he is really hiding from them, and can they at least say something? Then Raven smiles. He says that he is clearly tired of living. One of the hunters standing in front gets very angry, and Raven kicks her right into the body of this hunter. Raven then takes her blade and points it towards the other's neck. He makes a small incision on this neck. There were 3 of them to the person who approached him. He is afraid and begins to mumble very much, and Raven grabs his head and slams him to the floor until one of them comes to his senses. He talks about Raven being a bad person. Raven then swipes her katana right next to his face. Is he putting his face up to this hunter? After which he tells him that he wants to die before the demons kill him, and he should turn to him, after which Raven closes her eyes and leaves. The hunter shouts after him that he is a bad person, and he will remember this, a former aristocrat who had fallen out of favor. No one believed that he would survive at least until next year, but he survived all 10 years of his imprisonment here, and Raven heads towards the tent where the flag hangs. Speaking of which, these rumors that are circulating are thanks to him, and in general they are true. Vault A family estate. Raven stands in a tuxedo near her family's crest. He says his family didn't have much fame or influence, but they really were one of the most noble families of the Empire. Raven walking further through the camp, he says that one day they lost everything. He remembers how he was chained and looks at the burning house, and about 10 years ago, looking at a huge estate that is all on fire, a man with long hair raises his hands. He shouts that the wicked family has been overthrown and executed, and because they were planning to rebel against the empire, to which Raven shouts that this is a lie. While they are holding him, he looks ugly, and passers-by are watching everyone. He shouts that his family didn't do this, and the man smiles as he moves closer to Raven. He says that they can really deny their guilt and how much they want, because he is the son of traitors. Raven gets really angry. He shouts that this is slander and other families are plotting a riot and they have slandered them. The man then grabs Raven's hair. He smiles while everything around him is on fire. Speaking of which, his parents have already burned to the ground and he can join them. And while Raven is clearly breathing heavily and very angry, they tell him that he will be lenient and give him a chance. This man brings his head closer and smiles. He says that his punishment will be serving as a demon slayer for 10 years. Raven looks at him in surprise. For now, he says that this is his only chance for mercy. Many passers-by watch this in smile. They say that the holy heavens will send him to exterminate the demons, and Raven thinks that the worst punishment in the Empire after the death penalty is the sending of robbers and other rubbish. His familiar offsprings send cannon fodder to this camp and the last of the line, and if he dies their line will end. And the chained Raven is angry looking at this man. Now if he survives, he will be free after 10 years of service. To which the man walks back, closing his eyes and smiling afterwards. He says that if he survives, then of course, if after 10 years he serves his sentence and he will be free. What is Raven clearly angry about? Does he say he agrees? After which he lowers his head and shouts that if he survives and returns, he will restore the glory of the VA family. After which he sits on his knees, looking at his estate, screaming for them to change his word. And Raven approaches one of the tents. Is he extending his hand straight towards her? Speaking of which, the days of this shameful punishment are already numbered. After which he closes his eyes. He remembers how he fought against many demons. Speaking of which, he fought from day one to this day, even though he had never learned combat skills before. He remembers his former self and who he has become. They say that in 10 years he turned from a boy into a demon slayer, and Raven looks at the tent with enthusiasm. He says that one more large company against the demons and he will be free. He walks inside the tent, speaking of which, there was only one thing left before he went to restore the honor of his family. Meanwhile, the forest is in Lord Pentagon's land. The girl trembles, looking up with her blue eyes. Many comets fly near the moon, and she looks at a huge white dragon with golden horns. This dragon says that the night has come to serve dinner, looking at a huge white dragon with golden horns. Speaking of which, dragons are creatures that surpass the strength of any of the demons, and their power has no equal, and only one company in the Empire can call upon a dragon to aid the battle. And while the man is in armor and with long golden hair, comes closer to the dragon and strokes it. Speaking of which, the pen dragon jennies. They know how to tame dragons. Their family is one of the most influential in the empire. There are 13 days left until the amnesty. Raven approaches one of the tents with light coming from it. Speaking of which, it was the tent of the commander of the Demon Slayer stick, and Raven opens the curtain. Walking inside, is he asking to be allowed to report? He looks at the commander, who is eating meat, sitting next to two slaves. He asks Raven what he wants to report, and Raven looks at him. With obvious displeasure, Raven holds out her hand. He says that the demons have numerical superiority. If they soon reach the front flank, they will not be defeated. The commander begins to smile. As he looks at Raven, he says that he really admits